Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, hold on a second. Okay. All right. So, I'm going to be doing a reading. I decided to kind of just have it posted as a ClairTarot reading. I feel like I really need to begin creating titles or writing the titles for the videos in a way that doesn't feel like it's excluding anybody, because really my Claire Tarot readings for Pisceans, it's for everyone. Pisces encompasses the entire zodiac. So yeah. Okay. So I figured I would put Claire Tarot reading. There's a lot of shifting that's going on, and I'm not too sure the exact subject matter that we're going to be discussing here. I just know that there is this very real sense of messages needing to be expressed and allowing ourselves to receive whatever messages that we need. Okay. Hi. Yeah. One more. All right. So these shifts that I'm picking up on, these are shifts that I hear, it's affecting your life and your connections. It's affecting the way you conduct everything. And with that, if you're not going to receive the type of guidance that you're needing to get the clarity that you're needing, it might be really hard to navigate through this. Not impossible. I don't want to make it like I'm taking away the possibility of your personal power getting you through this and your own intuition. But this is going to be a really challenging period from my understanding. Okay. Almost ready. Oh my gosh. This deck is so old that the edges are no longer crisp. And so it doesn't shuffle that well. Ew. It doesn't shuffle that well. Then. All right. Here goes. Let's get started. Card number 3, inspiration. Allowing yourself to be inspired by the very things that you've been living through. Allowing yourself to begin recognizing that everything you're living through is preparing you for some amazing type of situation. Sorry, it was far too yellow for me. There we go. That yellow tone was making me feel like it was a depressed space. The temperature of the lights, when you use them, it actually affects the way you feel. Just so you guys are aware. What's going on with my glasses? Okay. Card number 38, restore and replenish. Or maybe it's just a feeling from this reading that was giving me a really depressed feeling. It was just such a depressed feeling. Like back when I used to have struggles with life in general, it created such a feeling of like helplessness, hopelessness, not being able to handle whatever life was giving me. And it had a lot to do with the way I would keep the bedroom, because when I go through those cycles, I don't leave the bedroom, right? And I find that the quality of the light that surrounds us greatly determines how we're going to experience whatever it is that we need to experience. Many of us need to experience things that are so intense that we don't quite grasp the gravity of what we're living through. That leaves us feeling like that. Very defeated, very weak, very unwilling. I think the appropriate word to use is unwilling, leaving us feeling as though we are unwilling to live the life we were meant to live. Life is not supposed to be easy. It's just not. And this belief that if you do everything right, your life will be easy. It's just a really like bullshit type of belief, you know? People might be like, oh my God, that is so rude and so mean. Why would you say that? Why would you, make it seem like your way is the only way? My way isn't the only way, but my way is efficient. It's efficient. It can utilize whatever is provided to you by your environment and your experiences, amplify and elevate the potentialities that you can reach within any given potentiality, within any given situation, circumstance, all of that. Remember, my brain functions in a way where it seeks the most efficient manner possible, the most efficient path. That means I'm not afraid to hurt. I'm not afraid to be afraid. I'm not afraid of struggle, of hardship, of any of that. Well, here you go. How do you not feel defeated? Well, in order to feel defeated, it's going to have to be some sort of competition, right? Who are you competing against? Who are you competing against, and who are you um, using as the benchmark for your success and your progress? Because if you're using someone outside of yourself, like, oh, Joe over there already finished his ascension cycle, and I'm nowhere near done with mine, then yeah, you're going to absolutely feel defeated. When you're trying to utilize parts of you that were not intended to be utilized for what you're trying to use it for, you will absolutely feel defeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, and there are people who have overcome this. Your hands are meant to grab. That's why your thumb is opposing. It can grab things, right? Most people's feet cannot grab things. Okay. There's no opposing thumb to grip onto things. There are people who, because of their life circumstance, after however long that they've struggled through that circumstance, they have learned to use their feet the way they use their hands. Now, just because you've learned that does not mean it is as efficient and as purpose intended as using your hands, but it can still get the job done. It can still get the job done. So if it's something where it's like you're trying to use the parts of you that were not intended to grow you in that way, you're going to be depleted. You're going to feel like you've failed. You're going to feel all of these really negative things that cause you to believe you are not progressing in the way you are meant to progress. But here's the thing: who told you the way you're supposed to progress? Who informed you of the time frame it will take for you to complete this cycle? When I used to do that, where I would, compare my progress to someone else's progress, say there's a person that I really admire, or I feel very inspired by them. I take a look at their journey, and it inspires me to make modifications to my own. I recognize it's my journey and it has to be lived in the way that I live. But the moment I begin this thing of like, well, they're already at that stage. Like, what about, like, am I not doing enough? I'm an overachiever and I'm a perfectionist. Deadly combo. Not deadly for the world, deadly for myself and sense of self. Deadly for myself and sense of self. These are the very two characteristics that I have that can push me to excel beyond what the average person can reach, but it can also destroy me beyond how destroyed the average person can feel. Blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse. And that's the thing, like, if we know how to use these things in the way they are intended to be used by your soul, then we can begin becoming empowered. So how would I do that? Well, perfectionism, if it's balanced, if I can balance it, then it can cause me to be very detail oriented to the degree that I can produce something that is um, far more aesthetically pleasing, far more efficient, far more this, far more that than what the average person can come up with. If I allow that perfectionism to get out of control, I'm going to continue to modify that project until I run out of time. And then I'm going to feel like, ah, I suck. It's not to the degree that I know I can create. And so it sucks and I've failed. But have I failed? Or is it just a perception of my failure? We'll bring this analogy to working out. Okay? I was working out quite a bit. Twice a day. 2 to 3 hours each time. Twice a day, 2 to 3 hours each time. I have different genetics than most of the population. I have an issue with my connective tissues. Okay. That means I can be injured a lot easier. I have to do workouts in a specific way. If I don't, I will injure myself. If I push myself too hard because my mentality is far more savage and far more durable than my physical body, if I allow my logic to continue pushing me, I will injure myself. So I've learned to kind of temper that with the reality of what I'm experiencing, allowing my body to speak to me and let me know, hey, you're taking it too far. You're creating a muscle imbalance. We're about to pull a muscle. We're about to tear a ligament. I listen and I stop. Even though I was listening and I was progressing, it was not enough for me. My perfectionism began to kick in. I wasn't paying attention to that aspect of myself. My perfectionism began to kick in. And there was a woman who was working out at the same gym that I was. Based on the way her muscles look, the fibers, the striations within her muscles, like, honey, been working out a long time. She works out daily. Every time I'm there, she's there. I've never had a day where I was there and she wasn't there. She works out every day. I can tell by her build. She's been doing this a very long time. I can tell by her exercises and her form. She's competing, not with me. I'm talking about she's a bodybuilding uh, figure competitor. Okay. I can tell. So instead of listening to my body, I began trying to keep up with her. Not in a competitive way. Okay. I wasn't trying to outdo her. I was trying to make sure that I pushed myself to the degree that I am doing basically a figure competitor type of workout to that intensity. Perfectionism, competitive. I know that's how I am. That's why I don't allow myself to compete with other people, because it gets out of hand real effing fast. Real effing fast. And what happened? After a couple weeks, not even a month, it was just a couple weeks, I was lifting more than she was. I was maxing out my sets and it was just, whoo, I was building muscle like crazy. Really fast. Really fast. To the point where now when she's working out, she's kind of looking at me like, damn, how the hell did you build all that? We never spoke to each other. And you know what ended up happening? I dislocated my elbow. That's what ended up happening. Because I began using my body in a way that it was not intended to be used. It's just not intended to be used that way. My frame is not built for heavy lifting like that. I'm capable of it. I'm absolutely capable of lifting heavy. When I say heavy, I ended at over 500 pounds. And every single workout, I would strive to lift in that workout cumulative weight, because I was tracking it on my app, I was lifting probably around, on average, around 60,000 pounds in that one workout. I maxed out at my highest. I lifted over 100,000 pounds in one workout. What is that going to do for me? I have I have no interest in competing with other people because it causes me to behave in a way that's detrimental to me. I begin using things that were once my strength or could be my strength, and I begin using it in a way that hurts me. I have the ability to lift as much as I need to lift, to be as healthy as I need to be. That's all I need to know. After that, when I work out, I'm not paying attention to nobody. I'm focused on what I'm doing, on the mechanics, the way I'm holding my spine, all of that. That's it. I'm putting it in. I'm not checking how much I'm lifting through the workout, because if I see that I haven't lifted 20, 30,000 pounds by the time I'm halfway through, I'm going to start stacking plates. I'm going to start pushing myself. And I keep having this logic of, I'll just put another brace on. Micro tears is fine. Ligament micro tear is not the same as muscle fiber micro tear. That's not the same. It is not the same. You tear a ligament, you're compromising the integrity of the function of that joint. You are effectively injured. When we do this in a spiritual sense, going back to what I was sharing, where when I first began really intentionally trying to expose myself to spiritual people, I had a couple of really good friends who were vegan. I come from a culture where there's no veganism. You eat meat, okay? You eat meat. Everything has meat in it. Everything is just meat, meat, meat. And these were the only people that I knew that were vegan, because everyone in my environment um, was an omnivore, which that's fine. It's not my job to tell other people how to live. But the thing is this, instead of just allowing myself to begin the exploration of veganism to see how it can improve my health, I took it too far. I took it way too far. And what could potentially be very healthy for me, I ended up coming very close to organ damage. I was vegan for like 6 years, something like that. And I affected my bones. I affected my collagen production. I affected so many different things. So many different things. You have to operate within your life, within the structures of your mind, in a way that's very beneficial, empowering, something that will help you to better accept yourself. Because if not, the process of getting you to submit to what your soul is telling you to submit to, that's painful. It's painful. Extremely destructive. Destructive to the degree that by the time I was at the height of that veganism, I developed severe fibromyalgia. One of the worst cases that my doctor at the time had ever seen. I had fibromyalgia for about 6 years as well. Yeah. I wouldn't listen to anyone. Veganism is the way to go. You have to be vegan. You have to be vegan. You have to be and it's like, why do I have to be vegan? Because it's spiritual. Spiritual how? Well, because we're not hurting animals. Okay, but you're an animal and you're hurting yourself doing this. And this is the conversation I had to have with myself. Some people can sustain veganism, some people cannot. And it's not about, oh, you're craving, you're just, don't worry, it's just meat withdrawal and yada yada. Nah, 6 years to withdraw. No, that's not meat withdrawal. It's just not. It's not withdrawal. So yeah, I had to have these conversations with myself, like, why are you doing this? Well, because I'm trying to keep up with my friends. They're vegan. What do you mean, why am I doing this? This is what spiritual people do. We're vegan and then we do yoga. Yeah. I just should have been at my healthiest for like 5 years. When I say it was about 5 years, I was a vegan and I was doing Ashtanga yoga. That's an aggressive type of yoga. You got to be really flexible. You know what I mean? You have to really put a lot of your mind into releasing and kind of just sinking into the poses and really submitting to what your body can do and releasing your limitations, you know? And to me over here, I'm just like, I am Ashtanga. Like, no, girl, you're fronting. Yeah, I mean that was the reality of it. Just because I have a condition that gives me hypermobile joints does not mean I am Ashtanga. There was no purity in what I was doing for myself to myself anymore. There was none. Okay. I had to allow a shift to occur within me that allowed me to be more of who I am and what I need from myself. What I need from myself is something that's hybridized. It's a little bit of everything. I can't have nothing but meat, but I can't have zero animal products. I can't do yoga, but I can't not do yoga. I can't lift, but I can't not lift. It's finding this beautiful middle ground within myself and the center point of all my needs in order for me to better understand what is my body and my life trying to teach me about myself. I'm capable of extreme highs and extreme lows. Do I want to exist at either point? No, because you cannot sustain that long term. So then what's the goal? To be centered. You mean balance? No. I specifically chose the word centered. There's a difference between being centered and being balanced. Balance will continue to cause you to need to put effort into balancing. You too much. Yeah. No. I'm good off that. If I can find my center and stay there because of the nature of my centeredness, balance will be an automatic component. When you're centered, you're balanced. You don't have to put effort into balancing. You then can put all of your time and effort into better understanding what exists within that place of center. You can reach to both ends of the spectrum. Our expectations of ourselves are typically based on what other people expect from us. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that the standard that you've set for yourself is a standard that was a definition created by someone else? There were people in my life who have told me that if I go ahead and allow others to see or know how different I am, my level of spiritual, etheric, energetic awareness and development, that people will think I'm demonic or weird. And then I existed on the opposing end of the spectrum where I had people who knew how different I am, and they were intentionally attempting to encourage me to be harmful to other people, to attack other people like I'm your attack dog because people can't defend against me energetically. I'm not that either. So then what am I? I am a human being trying to figure out my place within myself. I'm someone who's now allowing my life to shift in whatever way it needs to shift. And as it's shifting, I'm learning more about myself. As I'm learning more about myself, I'm better able to accept myself as I am in that moment, knowing that every single experience following that point of acceptance will lead to another point of an even more ripened acceptance. There's no right or way to live life. There's no right or wrong way to live life. There's just not. You make decisions that will either create additional struggle as you go through the lesson, or you could choose an option that facilitates the learning and therefore causes a more smooth, less struggle filled experience. Is one more right or more valid than the other? Well, here's the thing. Anytime I'm in a situation, I never know that there's another option. I've never been aware of other options being presented to me. I only ever choose what I think will be the path that will help me to survive whatever it is I'm facing. Because let's face it, my life lessons are super duper intense. Like, yo, does it have to be that hard? Yes, because that's the way I learn. That's the way I learn. So at the end of it, is it necessary for me to identify the path is right or wrong? Or is it necessary for me to just be cognitive of the reason I go through things the way I do? Because that's the way I learn. That's literally the way I learn. And it's going to be okay. It's going to be perfectly fine. This is how I learn. At the end of the day, as long as I'm learning what I need to learn, it was not a waste of time and it was not a mistake. I might not understand why. I might not understand why I'm going through that as I'm going through it. But I promise you, after I go through it and I look back, I know exactly why I had to go through that. I then begin to understand the gravity of my learning. Having lived my entire life this way has helped me to understand I've never made a mistake in life. I made decisions that have upset me because my expectations were not met, but those are expectations that were not aligned with the reality as I later saw it to be. I created a different reality for myself during that period. I chose to believe things that were not what was actually going on. And this can be me making excuses for people or me convincing myself that people are angry with me or hate me. And they never said that. One Marlene says one part. Sorry. She's like, well, you already started saying it. Okay. One particular experience, I had convinced myself that this person like really seriously hated me for a very, very long time without any proof. There was no way for me to prove whether this person hated me or not. I just told myself, they hate me. They really, really hate me. They're going to forever hate me. And that was sad. That was so sad to feel like, like what can I do? They hate me. I don't know why they hate me. I just know they hate me. But did I know or did I tell myself that story? I didn't know. I still don't know. I still don't know. Well, and why don't you know, Emmy? Well, because I don't know. You want me to be like, "Hey, hi, by the way, I mean, no, don't ask me how I got your phone number." Yeah, no, it's do you hate me or what? This is not someone that I have contact with. That's actually several people. It's kind of it is what it is, and, I figure once I get to a point in my journey, if I really need to know whether they truly hate me or not, these specific individuals, then my paths will cross with them, and we'll have an opportunity to discuss, like, "Hey, did you hate me this whole time?" Marlene's just getting real comfy. She goes, "Sometimes you're just so stupid." Just make yourself at home. Card number 29. Seeing the true you. Allowing yourself to see who you truly are. Okay. Allowing yourself to really, really let your waters get very still so you can see the truth of your reflection. All of the things that you tell yourself to convince yourself that you're less than, it creates distortions within your water. It creates ripples. It's like when you throw rocks into a still pond. Yeah, it's just like that. So, do you need to be like that? Is that going to help you to grow? Things are shifting. This is your opportunity. I'm told to reshuffle the deck. Hold on. I promise I haven't looked, but I'm told to reshuffle. All right. Card number 42, the word wants to be written. So there's a communication that's needing to take place either within yourself or with someone else. And it's like it's in reverse. And, that tells me you're resisting the communication. She was in the bathroom. She was in the bathroom. People of transition don't seem to care about that type of thing. They just don't. They just don't. There's been times where I've been in the shower and then, my mom was suddenly standing in the shower with me and I'm like, "Oh my god." Like I'm washing my hair out and the soap, the shampoo is like running down my face and I sense like someone's gotten in the shower with me. And yeah, no, and my mom's in there. They don't care. They don't care because to them that's not really a breach of space. That's not a breach of privacy. They don't believe in privacy in that way. So but I get it. I get it. It's perfectly fine. Hey. Okay, so card number 36, listening for truth. This communication, how are you going to hear what you need to hear if this communication is not being allowed? How are you supposed to hear what you're supposed to hear? How are you supposed to grow yourself if you don't hear what you need to hear as a component of the message that you're trying to retrieve for yourself? I don't know if I'm getting irritated or if she's irritated, but there's an irritation. There's an irritation. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. Card number 5, follow your own rhythm, allowing yourself to shift and sway and allow the shifting to be what sways you sometimes. Okay. Dancing, the most beautiful dances are not always just go, go, go. They alternate between a movement and a pause and allowing yourself to feel the emotions that are being communicated through the music. Um, oh, are you in a cha-cha? Step forward, step back, step to the side. Yeah. It's like you're making progress and you come back. You have to move to the side to let someone's ego through, and then you backslide, and then you got to move to the side again, and then you can go forward. But are you really making any progress? Or are you being held in some sort of like holding pattern? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Card number 15, big bold vision. Big bold vision. You got to have a big bold vision. You got to go beyond what's your norm, your behavioral patterns that have kind of kept you confined to a smaller way of living. So I'm being shown when you have two tectonic plates, right? They're like, and you get little mini earthquakes. And then the pressure builds, they're stuck, they're caught on each other. And then eventually one will go down and the other will go up. And then that creates a massive shift of all the plates. And in that shifting, the stored energy from all the tension that built up, that has to go somewhere. Okay? It has to go somewhere. So what happens? It gets dispersed through the land. It becomes an earthquake. This is something that's, for whoever's going through this, it's becoming a very destructive thing, a self-destructive thing. And you're going to need to start making some decisions, some really proactive decisions that are going to help you rebalance yourself. Because this earthquake might be something that's happening within you. And I mean, it's giving me anxiety. I'm going to be really honest. It's giving me anxiety. Why? What's the reason for the anxiety? It's like so much irritation. I can't discern why. I really can't. Let's just keep moving forward. Oh, the perfection of your life. So it's almost like someone still wants to play like everything is perfect. Maybe if we just ignore this, if we pretend everything's okay, that you're going to just chill out and then we can just go back to normal. Normal is being burned. It's on fire. The normal is being deconstructed. You're not going back to that. You're just not, because now we're entering into a time frame, a period, portal period at that, where reunification of all your parts is occurring. That 12/21 portal date is a crucial portal date. Pretty much every year except this year, I feel like it's just a bullshit date. My bad. I've just really felt that. Like, why do I need to go live for that date? And with that, Michael says, you know why that date's important. Okay. Okay. I know that was rude. I'm sorry. That date is a merger date. 1221. It's like mirroring, right? Inverse mirrors. On top of that, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3. It's 33. It's a solid foundation from which to receive your components, because 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 being the sacred vessel, the sacred cup. 6 being the man, the human. So this is about you receiving all the things, the components that you need. This is about the period where the potentiality for reconnections, for connections that need to exist between you and other people, that's being elevated. That's being pushed to the forefront. Now, not everyone is going to connect with someone else. I want to make that very clear. But the people who are needing to have the connectivity in order to reach the next level of their dimensional consciousness and divine purpose, you're going to be reconnecting. Now, is that in real life? Is it just energy? It really depends on you and what you need. And it's not going to be you deciding this. It's not going to be you deciding this. I'll tell you that right now. It's just not. Who's going to decide this is your soul? It's already been pre-decided. For many people who are here for like a very important purpose, you're going to be reconnecting. There's going to be reconnections, energetic reconnections that occur. And these energetic reconnections will form a grid around the earth, and it's going to allow for the bathing of extremely high frequencies, and allowing that frequency bath to soak all the way through. Oh my god. How honest do you guys want me to be? Because this is what I'm going to share for the notification that I just got. It's gonna be triggering. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it says it's a notification from 8 minutes ago. CDC just warned that X amount of Americans will, you know, so, from a stunning development that confirms the injuries are accelerating. I don't really want to go into complete detail about that simply because it's disturbing. It's disturbing. And then slightly below that, it's a notification. I have something to share with you. No, really. We've got them. So it's just, one of those things where if we're going to be doing our part to kind of stave off a lot of the really not so good things that have been planned by people in obscured places of control, we have to do our part with reunification and raising the frequency of the world. Now, I say that at the risk of sounding too new age. I abhor new age stuff. It's just like, I don't like new age stuff. I don't want to be put in that category. Um, a lot of the things that people in that new age movement talk about, it's just cyclical bullshit. Really, it just sounds good. Okay, it's a Jason Silva maneuver. The first time I was exposed to Jason Silva, I became a total sapiosexual. Like, oh my God, his brain is amazing. I don't even care what he looks like, just the intelligence. And then I observed long enough, and it's this thing of like, oh, oh, you're just a good performer. Oh, my bad. Damn. I thought those were your thoughts. They're not. Okay, you're just speaking about other people's logic. Gotcha. And that's what the spiritual movement is. People have taken from ancient esoterica bits and pieces of what they wanted to use to kind of further their plans. And then they released it out into the public. It doesn't even matter if it's accurate or not. How many times have all the new age people, the spiritual people, went and gloated? They gloated about how the new earth is coming. That time came and passed. Where's the new earth? Where's it at? Can you show me? Can you show me? No, that's right. Because all of these like romanticized things that they're talking about, it's nothing but a romanticized story. Is it accurate? Maybe, maybe not. Well, I mean, how can we determine if it's accurate? Well, look at the history of the person presenting the information. Do they want to be famous? Do they want to be recognized? Are they like namaste? Namaste. Let me stop. Then it's probably bullshit. When you have people who are like, hello, my brothers and sisters. Hello, sister. Like, we didn't come from the same vajayjay, baby boo. We just didn't. We didn't come from the same vajayjay. We're not sisters. But go on. What did you want to tell me? Yeah. When it's an aesthetic, okay, which is, if you like the aesthetic, you like the aesthetic. I'm not trying to hate on that. But if that's what you're basing it on, if you're basing the validity of their statement on their aesthetic, you probably shouldn't be listening to that person. When someone is mhm, channeling information, and then you ask, like, who's telling you this? Oh, Michael is. How do you know? You just know. I set the intention. But you understand demonic things don't give a shit about your intention. They literally don't. They don't care. They don't care. That's like living in an extremely rough neighborhood where the area is known for having a lot of breaking and entry, where they're like forcing their way into the home. And, that's the area you live in, which, hey, we all got to live somewhere. It's no biggie. Um, but you leave your doors unlocked because you've set the intention. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to do that? Does it make any kind of sense for you to then be upset that someone has entered your home because you didn't lock your door, but you set your intention? So, like, when you see someone talking about New Earth, ask them exactly what they mean. How will it present? Is it physical? Is it energetic? Is it a mental state? Where did they get their information from? How did they verify this information? Like, when I share information with you guys, I'm very transparent. Like, hey, you know what? This is stuff that I just randomly know it. I don't know if you'll find something on it online. It's kind of just, it is what it is. I don't know if you want to just believe this. I wouldn't. I would question it and see how I feel and, all of that. Okay. But there's no way for me to prove any of this. Very transparent. Okay. When someone is being asked and they're like, oh, you're new here, aren't you? I asked you a question. I asked you a question. Why are you not answering the question that I asked? Because I need to be able to determine if I'm safe in your environment. And typically, when you ask someone that question, it's because you already know. On some level, you can feel it. They are not to be trusted. Whoever this is not to be trusted. Why are you still there? Why are you still trying so hard to look for reasons why your intuition is wrong? Every time I've done that in the past, it has turned out so badly for me personally. Every time I've looked for reasons to invalidate my intuition for my journey, oh Lord. I had someone who, Michael was kind of like, not that one. And I'm like, no, but she's so sweet. He's like, whatever. Continued establishing a connection with this person. A year goes by, maybe not even a year. someone, now a human being who I know has like so much love and loyalty for me, they reach out, Emmy, this person is really bad. I get a really sick feeling. I feel like they're trying to be you. I feel like they're trying to replace you. I feel like they're going to harm you. Please stop interacting with them. You know what I did? Don't be like that. We need to give people the space and the time to show us who they are. All the while, this girl copying everything I do, my mannerisms, down to my lipstick. So, the backstory on that, typically, unless you're going out on the town or something like that, the darker lip colors, they're not worn during the spring and summer. That's technically or traditionally a fall winter type color. And it's a very specific shade of crimson. Very specific shade of crimson. You know how I know they were wearing the same lipstick as me? Because they asked me outright what my lipstick was. And they bought the same lipstick. So crazy ass shit, yo. It's crazy ass shit. And I still wouldn't allow myself to see it. I still would not allow myself to see it. There was no need for me to go through the things that I went through with people. I mean, outside of the need for me to experience that so I could fully understand the gravity of the bullshit of me trying to convince myself that my intuition is off. So for you guys who've been present for some time during my publicly visible part of the journey, how many times have I said something that were just flat out wrong? And this is not me trying to validate that I'm always right. This is me trying to understand from a third person perspective. How many times have my readings been inaccurate or flat out wrong? If I've done a reading for you and I've told you about potential outcomes, um, has it been wrong? And if it didn't come to fruition, was it because something within you changed? You changed something about the way you carry yourself, your expectations, whatever it is. And that potentiality just didn't happen anymore because you already knew. So you did something to change it. You know, it's one of those things where, girl, if I can do it for someone else, why can't I do it for myself? Why can't I be as accurate for myself as I am for a complete stranger? There's no reason. Well, the only reason would be that I'm trying to talk myself out of my intuitive hits. That's why. Why can't I give myself a reading? Because the moment I see the cards, I'll be like, oh no, no, that's not what it is. That's just not what it is. That's not what it means for me. Well, it could mean something else. Trying to talk myself out of what I know these cards are telling me. Many of us do that in our day-to-day life. Why do we do this? Because we don't want to believe that we actually might be the utmost authority within our personal life. You're the only one that's been present for the entire thing. For every decision, every experience. You are the only one that's been present. The only one. So why would someone else be the expert of you? There's no reason. Oh, because education, everything you can learn in a college, you can learn online for free. There's even programs like edx.edu. They actually allow you to audit classes, courses, programs that are hosted by Ivy League colleges. Some of my favorite enrichment classes that I sometimes will take, these are college level courses. Excuse me. I tend to gravitate towards the biology department of UC Berkeley, biology, chemistry, and physics department of UC Berkeley. And if I pay $50 and I score high enough, it will be considered mastered, and they'll give me a certificate that shows I've earned the credits for that class. $50. We allow so many people to tell us how to live, and that the things we achieve for ourselves, our accomplishments, are invalid. Because I had someone tell me once, I was trying to satisfy some of the credits for matriculation. I was going to try and matriculate and then apply for the medical program, med school. And someone said that doesn't count. I'm getting a 4.0. I'm getting a 4.0 at UC Berkeley. What do you mean it doesn't count? You're not actually a student there. How am I taking classes there? Well, they're distance classes. They're not real classes. Oh, really? Really? They're not real classes? Okay. Sure. Sure. Because at that point, I was actually enrolled. I was actually trying to earn credits for my college credits, you know? But these are people who didn't want to see me succeed, who didn't want to validate my efforts. So, yeah, oh, but that's not a real, you're not really going to school there. Well, then how do I know I have 4.0? I just made it up. This is coming from my professors, but I don't have a 4.0. It's not real. I just made it up. People who are intimidated by the power of your accomplishments, they'll accuse you of making things up. I apparently made up parasites. Yeah, I made up parasites because parasitic things are just archetypes, and I made up parasites. They're not real, and I just scare you into getting sessions. What? I made that up? I made up demons? Like the whole world existed in complete peace, and then I one day was like, "You know what? It would be totally cool if there were these things that feed off your energy and, like, really F you up. I wonder if I can convince other people." Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that's exactly how that happened. I made it up. Yeah. And what was the whole point of that? What was the whole point of that person saying that kind of stuff to me? Trying to convince me of that? Because they got breached. They had a parasitic issue. And because they had a parasitic issue and they were associated with me, I was like, you better fucking tell everybody. You better tell everyone so everyone knows and we can address this and just nip it in the bud. If I get breached and I'm working on you guys, you best believe I'm gonna fucking tell you I got breached. You best believe I'm gonna stop whatever I'm doing, clear myself, and make sure everyone in the audience is cleared. You guys have seen me do that. This person didn't want to let anyone know. So instead of taking accountability and allowing me to assist, they then took the stance of parasites are not real. It's not real. It's just an archetype, and she's just peddling fear. Well, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Very funny. Um, Funny in a stupid way. You're gonna come across a lot of people who will see the shift in you and attempt to shift you back. Are you gonna let them? Are you gonna let them take you back to this place within yourself and your journey where you don't believe yourself and your experiences? Because I almost believe that, like, oh, I'm just making it up. And then I had to be like, no, I didn't throw myself down the stairs. I distinctly remember one time I got kicked in the back real hard at the top of the stairs and I fell. I remember another time where my eyelashes were ripped out in the middle of the night. I just made that up. I remember another time where I had like claw marks on me. And another time where my toddler ran into the room scared AF, like, Mommy, I'm scared of the man with red hair. We were the only ones home. We were the only ones home. And for the record, no one in my family at that time had red hair. He said, this man's hair looks like it's on fire. My kid made that up too. Like, you know your life. You know what you've lived through. When people are intimidated by the type of progress you're making because now you're integrating what you've learned through the experiences your life has provided you. For those who are insecure and trying to compare themselves to you, they're probably going to try and gaslight you. You know, gaslighting you means trying to deny the validity of your reality as you know it to be. Are you going to let them? Or are you going to allow yourself to grow beyond their reach? Card number 16, what you want wants you. Do you want to continue to be simply what someone else is telling you you are? Or you want to let yourself grow beyond that? You know? What is it? Do you want to allow yourself to heal beyond what you thought was the highest point and then the ceiling? I promise you, there's other spaces within you that go beyond the ceiling. That's like all there is the ceiling. Honey. On the other side of that is either another floor or the sky. There's literally no limits. There's literally no limits. Okay? Don't let someone else's fear of your greatness reduce your understanding of it yourself. Spirals of manifestation in reverse. You're giving your power away. It's like this sense of backsliding, backsliding, backsliding. Stop. Stop those cycles. It's like this fear of letting go of something that you know hurts you because you don't know what happens after that. After that, you heal if you allow yourself to. And if you allow yourself to heal, then you feel more whole, and their absence is really not such a detrimental thing anymore. It becomes something where it's like, yeah, it just didn't work. Or you begin to see how toxic they actually have been this whole time. I mean, don't you want a life full of peace? A peaceful life does not have to be a boring life. I have a peaceful life and it's not boring. I have a peaceful life and it's not everyone just holding hands and like kumbaya campfire. There's still these peaks and valleys, these highs and lows, moments of excitement, moments of just slowing down, allowing my body and my mind to recuperate and rest. Peaceful life is actually a full life. If you're going to allow yourself to limit the definition of peaceful to simply like, oh, peaceful life, I'm going to have to sit in a rocking chair on the porch all day and then go to bed early after I drink my prune juice. That's not living. That's not living. That's not peaceful. That sounds like incarceration. That sounds like a prison, a mental prison. You don't need to be imprisoned. You need to allow yourself to truly live and be present in your life and your experiences so that you can better understand what these experiences are trying to help you experience, trying to help you learn. Card number 39, free from judgment, free to love. Oh, sucky, sucky now. Marlene, hold on. Oh my gosh. I'm going to bring Bish out. Bish, Bish, I want you to tell me, should I say what Marlene wants me to say? No. Bish, should I say what Marlene wants me to say? No. Good. I'm not going to say it. Card number 33, Heaven Sent. It's almost like this sense that someone in your life, someone who maybe isn't currently a part of your life, um, it's just that magical for you. Their effects on you is just magical. And it's not that I'm encouraging you to have another relationship. It's that I'm validating what you're experiencing and maybe too afraid to admit to yourself. There is someone that is just beautiful for you. Their energy, their presence, all of that. It makes you feel very whole and very alive, very much seen and understood. And when you begin to allow yourself to feel whole, then you don't need other people to complete you. Then that brings you to a place of existence where the people who are part of your life are there because you want them to be there, not simply because you're lonely or afraid to be alone. I found that when we're lonely and afraid to be alone, the people we allow in our lives are subpar. That's a little bit elitist to say it like that, huh? But that's just blunt. That's just blunt. They tend to be underdeveloped, codependent. They tend to be people who will further um, enable your lack of belief in yourself, and it's just like, uh, uh. Those are people who are not your tribe. And it's not to say they don't have value, it's that they are not your tribe. One of the worst things that I did for myself as an empath was guilt myself if I recognized someone was not part of my tribe. Because for quite some time now, I've had quite a few people who get really upset if they can't manage to get me to make them my new BFF. Y'all, I don't bond with people like that. I just don't. I'm good at helping people to feel comfortable around me because I'm just ever so aware of how awkward I am. But to bond like that with you, yeah, at the very least, it's going to take several years of me just like being very skittish with you, being just very like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And then my husband be like, why are you making you feel weird? No, but just, I don't know. And they'll be like, well, what's wrong? What's your issue with them? Nothing. So then what's wrong? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It took me nearly 3 years of being in a relationship, exclusive relationship with my husband before I actually was like, well, okay, you can pay for some of my food. I'm serious. It took about 3 years. I would not let him buy me anything. I was just like, why are you buying that? I have my own money. Yes, 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 this right here, this. You don't have to know and you don't have to rush. You just don't. And when people try and rush you, you know what I found? The people who are narcissistic, like elevations in their narcissistic tendencies, they tend to try and force you into a really deep connection as fast as possible. They're super fixated on you and want you to just reveal all this information, all this information, all this information. And if you're starved for connectivity, you'll fall for it. And as soon as they have enough information, as soon as you're hooked, now they got you. Now they got you compromising yourself so that you'll be like worthy to be in their presence. And I'm just so glad I have that cap moon because the cap moon is like, well, fuck it. You don't want to be around? Don't be around. It's no biggie. It's no biggie. Do you think I was going to chase you? Do you think I was going to beg you? You don't want to be here. Don't be here. It's fine. For real. I'm not even mad. I'm just irritated that you're making it seem like it's a big deal. Just go on then. And mind you, Cap Moon Aquarius cusp. That combo. Lethal, baby. It's lethal. It's lethal. If y'all don't know any Aquarius, one of my kids is Aquarius and he doesn't do it to his family, but I've heard him in disagreements with other people his age and I'm just like, bro, you can't destroy people like that. You gotta not. You gotta not. Don't destroy people like that. But in my son's defense, he was sticking up for a friend of his who a girl was bullying, cyberbullying, and the friend, this girl that he ended up saying something mean to, if I remember right, she was telling his friend to like himself. So I was like, oh well, if that's the case, tag me in, son. Tag me in that post. I need to have some words with her. He's like, no, mom. Yeah. So in that case, yeah, I get it. But it's really one of those things where we have to just allow the parts of us that exist for a reason to actually have their reason for existing. You know, people talk about, oh, you're so articulate. I'm a Aquarius cusp, you know? And oh, you're so honest. Hello, Cap Moon. I'm just going to lay it out flat like that. Oh, you're so sweet. And Pisces, hello. All of these things inside you exist for a reason. It really, really does. So we have Virgo rising, Cap Sun, Pisces. Ooh, that's one hell of a combo. That's one hell of a combo. I like that. Do you guys know your sun, moon, rising? If you do, please put in the comments. Super curious. Super curious. Super curious. I just need to know who I need to be careful around. I'm being honest. Did you know that more Pisceans and Geminis are what makes up the serial killers? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I like for real need to know what I'm working with here. Card number 6, shock of the new. So it's in reverse. This means there's nothing new. You keep deciding the same thing. Like, why are you continuing to debate the same thing? Why? Why are you continuing to debate the same exact thing? Why? You keep debating the same exact thing, and it's like there's been no change. There's been no change. And if there's been no change, that means there's been no growth. And if there's no growth, what are you holding on for? What are you holding on for? I have tons of Geminis in my life. I've learned to love them a lot. Gemini is that one sign where until you can get them to let you into their inner circle, I mean, you just really you like a paper bag on the side of the road. They just what? What? What's in there? I want to look. Is no, I don't want to look. You know, that's Gemini for you. You can't force it. You really can't force it. Now, if you're gonna be a bag on the side of the road, put some glitter. It'll get their attention. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's how I know Gemini to be like Gemini energy, where they can't or they don't value just anybody. But if they value you, oh my God. Oh my God. To be loved by a Gemini. Like, Jesus. I'm addicted to Geminis. I'm just saying. I used to be like, ew. Now I'm like, what? You got Gemini in your chart? Come on over here. We got to talk. What's up? You know, like, what's up? Um, so, it's my husband's fault. Card number 41, bring it into form. Allowing yourself to bring into form the life that you want. In order to bring it into form, you got to walk away. You got to walk away. And just that's it. You got to walk away. That's just that. Walk away from the things that block your path. Okay? Yeah, you can go to one of those you just type in your search browser prenatal chart and you'll find a place to get it for free. Yeah. But you need to know where you were born, like the city, and then you need to know the time. Yeah. So, well, I don't want to share this because it's too much info. I don't know. I might find one of you to message later to share this information with. Because it's like, oh, what? Yeah. But I don't want to share it publicly. You're going to have to be okay with it. Ooh. Whatever you're walking away from, the respect is gone. Either their respect for you is gone or their respect for themselves is gone. Like, I cannot be in a relationship with someone who now has zero respect for themselves just to get me to stay. where they're going to compromise themselves and be a completely different person and play a role, just to get me to say that's not even a relationship anymore. That's just like desperation. That's just desperation, you know? All right. Alchemist. You have to transform your life. Put some respect on my name. So, alchemist, you got to change this up. You got to stir it up, change it up, bring some respect back on there. Sprinkle that in. You need to do this using boundaries. Okay. Boundaries. Allowing yourself to reestablish what that boundary is within yourself first. And then you can, after you've determined that for yourself, you can then communicate to the person what the new boundary is. Okay. Containment. Everything's just spilling out. Excuse me. Marlene says, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for spilling everything everywhere. Girl, I'm telling you. You already know. You already know the status quo. Act like you know. That's why, like, half the shit you tell me, I don't want to say it out loud because, hello, privacy. Privacy. Some people are private. Yeah, no, some people are just really, really private, and we want to be able to respect that, right? So this is like a spilling over of things that maybe is embarrassing for someone. Like, it's almost like this sense of someone is super de duper ashamed that they're going through this because, you know, it's not a good thing to go through. It's just not. It's not a good thing to go through. It's not indicative of how weak or dumb you are. None of that. Like, you just had to learn these things. And if you're not going to listen to your intuition, then you're going to learn through firsthand experience. That's all it is. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing for anyone to feel like, oh my gosh, if people knew what I was going through, like they think so badly of me. The people who would think badly of you because you're going through something bad are horrible people. They're horrible people. So if they're horrible people, who cares what they think? Who cares what they think? Literally, who cares? You shouldn't. You already got your own thing you got to deal with. Don't care about what they think. I remember years ago, I was going through something really intense, really severe. And, at that time, I had a couple horrible people in my life. And instead of like offering to help, like offering solutions, providing some sort of support, emotional support, mental support, just kind of like a safe space to exist as I sort myself out. Yeah, no, they had to be like, that's fucking stupid. Why are you doing stupid shit? And yada, yada, yada. You know, don't fucking involve yourself in my life. That's just how I see it. When people take the time to ask me what's going on, and in the rare instances that I actually share what's going on, and then you're going to shame me because you weren't asking me to help me. You were asking me so that you could get a better idea of how you were going to use this to amplify your ego by convincing yourself you have your life more together than I do. You might have your life more together than I do, but you still a hoe. I'm sorry. You still a hoe. Try me, hoe. I'm just saying. The emotions of it all is causing my hair to start like, puffing out. It's causing my shoulder to further hurt. These silly ass hoes. I'm sorry. I got started. I can't stop. Put the lid back on. Put the lid back on. Okay. What I tell you? What I tell you? You can't just go calling people hoes. Even if they are a hoe, you can't call them a hoe. I'm back in control. Back on track. It reminds this came up in my fucking thing. Hold on. Hold on. I saw this in my memories. No. Shh. I can't play that kind of stuff. You're gonna get me copyright strikes. Okay, here. Is it here? It's here. Jesus, take me home. Okay, I was having this time last year or what, 2 years ago or something? 2 years ago. PayPal, I was preparing to do a huge fire ceremony and PayPal decided, "No, bitch, we're gonna take your account away." I was like, "What? What are you talking about? What?" So they took away my ability to process payments. I was like, "You fucking asshole." I did say that to the worker. I was like, "What, hoe?" It's probably why they didn't want to help me. So then when I got it fixed, I created this meme. You know, when you finally get the shopping cart function back, so you feeling ballsy enough to offer a discount just because. Try me, ho. I'm just saying. Try me, ho. Oh no, it's all good because I have other payment processors. So we just went, I had to shift everything to over there. It's the other payment processor was not integrated into my website. That was the only thing. I was just like, listen, the volume of transactions, really? You're fucking up my flow. You're fucking up my flow. I'm all about numbers. You fucking up my numbers. And then you know what they said? They said, well, ma'am, what the fuck did you call? Ma'am, as I said, you're going to need to contact the IRS to provide a certificate. Yo, they couldn't contact the IRS on my behalf. Like, are you kidding me? They needed me to contact the IRS because PayPal had only 5 of my names instead of 6. So then they said, "No, this is not this no, we can't do this. So we need you to verify your identity by calling the IRS and getting a certificate of something something." And I was like, "Are you serious? Do you want my marriage certificate?" That's the only difference. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why what? Yeah. They took away my ability to process payments. I'm like, this racism. She's like, I'm sorry, ma'am. What? How is this racist? You see Garcia up in there? Do you not understand my culture? Do you not understand my culture? How many names have to be involved in my name as part of my culture? You know what this bitch said to me? Ma'am, I'm not Mexican and I don't know about Mexico. Bitch, neither am I. I'm not Mexican either. Oh my God. I was so mad. back like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You're not I'm not Mexican either." Now they my cousins, okay? We got conquered by the same damn Spaniards, okay? But yeah, no, she tried to, that's why. That was why. I had 5 out of the 6. And then my license had, I think, like 6, 7 names on it. Or maybe it was switched. Oh, I think it was switched because I had the full name there, and then my license didn't have all the names because the DMV said, "I'm sorry, honey, we're gonna I'm sorry, honey. This is just do you really need all of these names?" My mom thought I did. "What do you mean? Like, that's my name." And she's like, "We don't have enough spaces. Do you want to take some of these out?" Y'all, this country got me fucked up. I'm telling you. Now I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm so pissed. Yeah, well, so the lack of professionalism involved in even saying that though. Well, I was being really belligerent at that point. I was raising my voice and everything. And so, she had to shake me out of my stupor. Like, "Ma'am, I'm not Mexican." Oh shit. You got something against Garcia? Is that what it is? Half the fucking world's Garcia. What do you got some Yeah, no, I because a lot of people think I'm Mexican on paper because they see all the names like 4 first names, middle name, mother's maiden name, married name. And then they see how many kids I have on paper and they call me speaking Spanish and just like, y'all assuming ass motherfuckers. That's not that's no. I don't speak that language. That's not my language. Professional clapbacks. I was really good at that when I was working for companies. I was really, really good at that. Especially in the makeup industry. I was really good at that. The makeup and also I got stop. Homecoming is upside down. See, this card keeps being pulled out. The home is upside down. I mean, it's the same damn message over and over. Marlene, leave the cards alone. We're tired of the same damn reading. There's other people that exist in this world. Well, it's kind of my fault because I didn't want to change my name on I didn't want to convert my social security card to my new name. And then I didn't want to not have my maiden name so that way I wouldn't like for my entire married life over 20 years have 2 identities. I have 2 identities. One shows me as married with a married name, one shows me as an anomaly with hella names. So, um you can't comment things like that because then if Frey sees it, he's gonna be like, "See, what have I told you for 20 something years? What have I told you for 20 something years?" Yeah, he gets all like, "Ooh." All right. There's no balance. This homecoming is off. All the secrets are out. Like it's just it's messy. It's messy. It is, and this cycles. It's nothing but cycles. It's nothing but cycles. That's it. That's it. Cycles. This is not going to heal. It's not going to get better. It's not going to become different. It's just nothing but cycles. Okay. I go through the same. My birth certificate doesn't match my social. Oh my God. So I have my brother's birth certificate, right? Tell me why it has a completely foreign name. So when my mom had my brother, her best friend went and brought the information to, I guess, like the recorder's office or the hospital or whatever. And my mom had picked out my brother's name, told her best friend all of this, and her best friend felt that the baby looked more like a different name. So without telling my mom, she decided to name the baby herself. Her best friend chose my brother's name, and that's what's on the birth certificate, despite the fact that it's not his name. That's not his name. That's not his name. So I feel like we need to be wary of friends who would do something like that, you know? Um, those type of people are just so on his birth certificate, I don't know how we would fix it either, simply because it's in a completely different country. I don't know. She put a whole as different name. She put a whole different name. She didn't give a shit what my mom told me to put on the birth certificate. Oh my god, I'm dead. Because I found the birth certificate and I was like, whose kid is this? And it had my brother's birth date and I was like, oh shit. They put a completely different name on his birth certificate. I don't know how you fix that. Guardian. So guardian, familiar, allowing yourself to receive the protection that you're receiving. Um, shit. For some people, there's dark things going on. Okay, so for some people, there's dark things going on, and it's affecting if you have a pet, if you have an actual familiar in your life. It might be making your pet sick. This might be something that's acute, meaning it just happened out of nowhere. It might be something that's been gradually building over the last couple months. Hmm, hmm. That's super interesting. So, it's a cat and a frog. And the frog usually like signifies luck and things like that, abundance. But then I think of like how someone who thinks they're a princess would have this narrative of they have to kiss all these frogs to get to their prince. Well, they probably have herpes then. I'm just saying, warts are herpes. If you're gonna kiss that many frogs, I hope you have some sort of anti-herpes medication or magic or something. So is it like a disease type of so okay, herpes is a virus. Virus can't replicate itself. The way a virus differs from bacteria is bacteria can replicate itself. A virus, on the other hand, it has to infect your cells. And as your cells replicate themselves, the virus has injected their coding. And so it's, you know, Your body is now being tricked to replicate the virus and spread it. So, does it carry with it some sort of messaging that this person is a virus to you? They're trying to inject their ethos into you and convince you to participate in that way? Alchemist. The alchemist. So, with the alchemist, right? There is certain um oh, family immunity. I just got a notification. Family immunity. Mm. So with that family immunity, um it's almost this sense of like the family is becoming immune to the bullshit. They're starting to understand how manipulative this person is. They're starting to see past the whole, like, I kiss so many frogs to get to my prince, and you're my prince, or you're my princess. Spiritual herpes. I'm just saying. STDs, spiritually transmitted disharmony. So, hold on. Okay. Can herpes be cured? There's no cure for herpes. However, there are medicines that can prevent or shorten outbreaks. What's the main cause? Skin to skin contact, obviously. So 2 to 4 weeks, that's how long the first outbreak will last. I would say we're approaching like the 4-week mark. So, this is a good question. Can my partner have herpes and not me? It's possible to have a long-term partner who has herpes and to never get the infection. So, I mean, obviously, this is all like analogies and stuff like that. This is a deep message. This is a very deep message. So, I'm wondering, and this is just speculation on my end. If you were to take herbal things that have antiviral, antibacterial, um, antimicrobial properties during a time of exposure, because depending on the way it works, most of them will interfere with the RNA, mRNA replication process, so therefore it can't replicate. I'm wondering if you're exposed to someone who has a spiritual version of something like this, like a viral type issue. I'm wondering if there's coding that can be pressure injected to prevent you from getting it. It's an infectious mindset. It does go dormant. I mean, it's always in you, and it typically gets um, triggered by stress, by drama. And if we're going to apply it to this reading, it's like whenever this person gets stressed out or there's drama or whatever, they don't get their way, they get another flare up of this viral type of behavior, toxic and infectious. The winter's upside down at this point. So this is going to continue. This is not going to resolve. This is going to continue. It's going to just keep continuing. And, I'm kind of like, you're choosing what you will experience. So you decide. You're not listening to guidance. For some people, you're so confused that it's hard for you to accept the guidance. Um, you know, and then the secret card in reverse. So I mean, there's not much that you don't already understand if this is resonating. It's more like you're just choosing not to make a decision, or maybe you are and you're just afraid to put into action what you've decided. Not here to judge you, not here to condemn you. Definitely here to kind of remind you that the longer you stay in this situation, the longer you have to deal with it. And if something that you've already determined is not healthy for you, then being in the situation is not going to suddenly be healthy just because you're forcing yourself to tolerate it. Okay? So that's causing third eye drainage for me. I'm good at this point. Reading is done. So, guys, if you could please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm also on Twitter, but I don't post there. If you want, you can follow me on one of my other accounts. I'm starting to post things again. And also, you can join me here whenever I'm live on YouTube. I'm typically live daily, usually in the morning, sometimes not. But I hope you guys join me again. And I hope for whoever needed this information, that you have the information you need to actually empower yourself through your life. The last thing I want is for you to feel ashamed and to feel like you're stuck, because you're not. Okay? You're not stuck. Make a decision for yourself, for your health, and for your happiness. Stick with it. Implement it and stick with it. Okay? I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.